New York City just held something called rental rip-off hearing. Hundreds of tenants lined up to tell the city how the landowners are exploiting them. Hidden fees, broken heating, molds, rats, intimidations, rent hiking that make no sense. And I was made to realize that Allah once warned us about this in the Quran. So let me paint a picture for you. There's this mother who rise up to the microphone and tells that the homeowner is not fixing the heating of the home and her children are sleeping in a jacket. Another man says he is paying extra fees that were never in the lease. A senior citizen says she is scared to complain because the homeowner threatens her to evict her. Over 200 people showed up to the first hearing. And these are not isolated cases or isolated stories. Rather, this is a system of exploitation, exploiting the vulnerable. People are signing leases not because they freely agree, but because they have no other choices. Where will the people go? Allah says in the Quran, and do not consume one another's wealth unjustly, but only through trade based on mutual consent. And do not kill yourself for one another. Allah has ever merciful to you. Allah commanded in His book, be trustworthy, fulfill the covenants, honor the contracts. But in today's world, exploitation has become a norm, where the powerful gets to exploit the weak because nobody can touch them. They have power. And the tenant who is working honestly hard is the one who is getting oppressed. The ayah is not just about ancient Arabia, it's about New York City. It's about every city. It's about every system where the powerful take advantage of the vulnerable. Do not consume wealth unjustly. When a landowner charges illegal fees, when they raise rents without any reason, when they ignore repair but still take your money, that is unjust consumption of wealth, which Allah has already warned us about to not to do it. And then Allah says, except only through trade based on mutual consent. Now, mutual consent doesn't just mean signature on the paper. Just because someone signed on the paper doesn't mean they are consent. They have their consent. You have their consent. Especially with complicated papers which are purposefully made so complex that people don't understand them. And on top of that, they have fine prints line. Is that not exploitation? Then what it is? Consent is not just a signature. Consent is not, I had no other option. Consent is not I signed because I was scared. Consent means you understand the terms. Whatever the terms are written in the contract, you understand them. You agree freely to all of those terms. There is no pressure involved, there's no intimidation involved. There's no, I will do whatever I want, I can take advantage of. You have to sign it. No? The term should be understood, and the person should agree freely upon those terms. No pressure, no misled. Now tell me, how many tenants in New York City have this kind of consent? I don't think there will be many. There will be few because they are very good people in New York City. But how many? And then Allah says, "Do not kill yourself or one another." This is not just about physical killing; it's about destroying people's dignity, mental health, and stability. A person who is living, who is paying rents which are so high they can't even afford their groceries because of those heavy rents. The heating system is not working well. New York City is seeing a snowstorm, and then there are rats, there are moles, there are insects. Is that should be the condition of the financial capital of the world? New York City? Should people be living over there? Even anywhere in the world, should people be living like this? Even after paying heavy rents? When a family lives with mold, when a child sleeps in cold, when a tenant is threatened with eviction, I will evict you. There are 1,000 people in the line waiting for this room. You don't like it? Get out. These kind of words you might have heard if you are a victim to this. Oh, you really have problem with all of these things. There are 1,000 people waiting in the line. You can please leave. And the people are subjected to this kind of oppression. New Yorkers are. That is harm. That is oppression. That is exactly what Allah forbids. Don't consume each other's wealth unjustly, except by mutual consent. And don't kill one another, yourself or one another. Allah has ever been merciful to you. Be merciful to His creation. Be merciful to His creation. Does few extra dollars really means the life of someone else? Just because you are able to buy, I don't know, a new car out of the tears and cries of some people who are oppressed, is that car really worth buying? I mean, I have discussed this issue before. There is a housing crisis in New York, and it's not by chance. It's a systematic crisis which has been placed in the city and around the world. New York City is the most in debt region in the entire United States. Hear me that again. New York City is the most in debt region in the entire United States. New York City, the financial capital of the world. That was at least shocking to me. And why this matters for Islamic finance? Islamic finance is not just about interest or usury, it's about justice. It's about protecting human dignity in every contract. Loans, businesses, marriage, and yes, housing. And that's why Islam has been a problem, always a problem for the corrupt and unjust people of the societies because Islam commands justice. And justice means economic loss for the 1% or the elite of the society. That's why Islam has always been a problem for such people. It was a problem 1400 years ago or 1440 years ago in Makkah to the elite Arabians. Why? Because it was an economic problem. Their economy was getting disrupted by Islam. And till this day, the only reason Islam is the problem for such people, it is because Islam disrupts the unjust practices in society, which is benefiting the elites. People love their money. The elites love their money. And Islam doesn't prohibit you from earning money, but Islam prohibits you from earning money unjustly, from consuming each other's wealth unjustly. Allah says in the Quran, do not consume one another's wealth unjustly, but only through trade based on mutual consent. Trade is allowed. Do businesses, be creative, be innovative, but don't kill yourself or one another for money. And what do you see? What do you see around the globe? What do you see happening really? Are people not getting killed because of money? Is there not a genocide being committed right now just for money in the name of national security? Is that not true? The New York hearing shows us what happened when society abandons the Quranic principle of mutual consent. Contracts become a trap, power becomes a weapon, wealth becomes a tool of oppression, the vulnerable lose their voice. Allah tied wealth and life together in one ayah. Maybe because when wealth is abused, life is harmed. Maybe because when wealth is abused, life is harmed. Maybe because when wealth is abused, life is harmed. And how do these real life stories show us the warning Allah gave us in the Quran? Every tenant who spoke at those hearing is living this ayah. They're living the consequences of the world where consent is stolen, where contracts are one sided, where the powerful writes the rules. And Quran breaks exactly this kind of oppression. So when you hear about NYC's rental crisis, don't think it's just a housing crisis. It's a spiritual crisis. It's a justice crisis. Or rather, it's a spiritual issue. It's a justice issue. It's a Quranic issue. Because societies are going against the principles Allah has given us. Allah gave us a blueprint: no exploitation, no hidden traps, no pressure, no consuming wealth unjustly, no harming people through contracts. This is the blueprint we have. Mutual consent is not a legal formality, it's a divine protection. And when society abandons it, people suffer. People suffer. Our job is to bring these principles back to the real world. Not just in finance, but in every part of the life. Every part of the life. See, this is just one case, or rather, this was just one example of the tenants who are oppressed by their homeowners. But that's not just one issue we have. There's so many ways people are getting oppressed. So many ways. We have to get back on the principles of Allah, principles Allah gave us in His book, so that life can thrive.